The world of AI projects could be quite confusing for a new project manager. Project management is a discipline, but project management ventures into territory that goes beyond the management of the project into a lot of technology. For that reason, the concept of AI could be a little bit hard to grasp. My name's Phil, and I've been a PMP, project management professional, for the past 20 years. I've worked on all sorts of projects, everything from defense and space, munitions cleanups, straight ahead IT. And I've realized that in this age of artificial intelligence, project managers need to understand their position. Your position is not just being a project manager, but it goes a step further to being a coach who helps the team become more accustomed to the ebbs and flows of AI projects in particular. Artificial intelligence projects are a little bit of an anomaly, but you will still use your skills and knowledge gained from being a project manager on these projects. So without much ado, let's jump into a few introductions and we'll get started. This is a very rapid crash course that builds upon the book that I wrote a couple of years ago. It's called Artificial Intelligence for Project Managers. I realized in the very beginning, project managers may want to do the very basic things that they do in project management, like automate their day-to-day, have AI help them with tools and techniques and skills that they would need as a project manager. But I'm going to show you an even greater level of thought and idea as we proceed in this crash course. So this book shows you how to use AI to make life easier as a project manager and do some of the standard and routine stuff. But 2.5 to 3 years later, we need to be thinking more strategically and more like a coach in this arena. In fact, by the time we're done, you'll realize that your role as a project manager is more of a project leader. Okay, so let's jump straight in. I'll give you a very quick introduction. As I said, my name is Phil, and I've been a project management professional for going to 21 years now. I got certified in 2005, and before that, I worked with a number of organizations on different project types. Since I got certified, I've helped scores of people worldwide on their PMP exams, various organizations I have mentored, trained, and coached, government entities like the FBI and NASA you'll see on this slide. But let's talk about AI projects first of all. What exactly is an AI project? You can say that an AI project is a temporary endeavor that involves applying artificial intelligence technologies to solve a specific problem or achieve a particular goal. The key thing is that these projects involve either creating systems that can perform tasks that require human intelligence, such as learning from data, recognizing patterns, making decisions, and understanding language. Common examples include developing machine learning models, creating natural language processing applications, and building computer vision systems. AI projects are increasingly used to automate processes across industries, to enhance decision making, and provide intelligent services. The scope of an AI project can vary widely, though, and it could be very simple automation tools to extremely complex systems that simulate human cognition. Successful AI projects require a clear understanding of the problem right from the get-go. Also, access to quality data. In these kinds of projects, data is key, and the ability to design and implement effective algorithms. The integration of AI into business operations can lead to significant improvements in efficiency, accuracy, and scalability. So, to go a step further, let's talk about the AI project lifecycle. Because it's one thing to understand what an AI project is, but it's another thing to be sensitized to the life cycle. The life cycle of an AI project, as you can see on the screen, generally includes several key stages that guide the development and deployment of AI solutions. These stages are, as you can see on the screen, problem scoping, and this is where the problem to be solved is clearly defined. We have data acquisition and exploration. Data acquisition involves gathering the necessary data to train the AI system. Training data is so important, and we want to make sure that data is clean, and therefore we have data exploration. This is where the data is analyzed and visualized to gain insights. Then we have model development, which includes selecting and training an appropriate AI model. Evaluation is where the model's performance is tested. And then we have deployment, which integrates the model into a real-world application and monitoring. For a lot of you as project managers, you may not even need to venture this far into the world of AI to begin to harness its benefits on your projects, but it's important, especially if you're in the world of tech, that you can expect at one point or another in your career to be sucked into the vortex of AI projects. So it's important that you understand what these cycles mean, and your job as a coach and as a leader of the project to sensitize your team to little nuances, things that they may not have observed. So when it comes to the last one, deployment and monitoring, this is where we deploy AI solutions in real-world applications, and we continuously monitor to maintain performance. So that's the general idea. We could go more intricately into the AI project lifecycle. I have a more granular model that I'll be sharing later on, but at this high level, you can probably identify some common threads and themes. Problem scoping is just like initiating and planning. Data acquisition and exploration is also part of that process that lies a little bit in planning, but also goes into the execution of it as well. Model development, evaluation, those are all in executing and monitoring and controlling. Deployment and monitoring, again, it's also in executing and monitoring and controlling. And you also have a close, but in the world of AI, the closing may just mean a handoff. It's not the end of the initiative. It's generally not the end. It could just be the beginning of the longevity of whatever solution you've developed. So there are some commonalities. The misnomer that AI projects are so different from regular projects is one that needs to be treaded upon carefully. While there's some element of truth there, it is important that we don't throw out the baby with the bathwater, because I don't want you freaking out thinking all of your skills and knowledge have gone to waste. They haven't. The difference between AI projects and traditional projects is generally in the cycle of life and the hyper dependence of data and what I call the hyper iterative nature of AI projects. So that is important to note, because I don't want you thinking that your PMP and all your knowledge and skills gained from regular projects are no good and are wasted. That is not true. You will still have a ton of opportunities to use the knowledge and skills that you've gained from other projects that you've encountered. And that takes us to key characteristics of AI projects. AI projects possess several key characteristics that distinguish them from traditional software development projects. They are highly data dependent, meaning the quality and quantity of data used to train the models significantly impacts the outcomes. The development process is hyper iterative. I use the word hyper iterative because in the world of Agile, we talk about incremental and iterative. Well, think about that on steroids, right? It involves continuous experimentation and refinement of models to improve performance. Unlike traditional software that produces something you could say is a deterministic output, AI models often provide probabilistic predictions which require careful interpretation and validation. Additionally, AI projects demand specialized skills in data science, machine learning, engineering, and domain-specific knowledge, and these characteristics necessitate a flexible and adaptive approach to project management and development, as well as strong emphasis on data governance and ethical considerations. So as you begin going into the world of AI projects, just expect there to be a lot of data talk. And this is why, at a bare minimum, I would suggest you understand the basics that I cover in my Udemy course, AI in Project Management. It will greatly help you as you begin to traverse this trajectory. So let's talk about managing AI projects. Jumping into this topic of managing AI projects, AI project management integrates artificial intelligence and machine learning technologies into traditional project management practices to enhance outcomes. We're not saying that you, as the project manager, absolutely needs to understand the intricacies, but it will be good if you understand some high-level definitions such as machine learning, computer vision, and things like that. This approach that we're talking about here includes automating repetitive tasks such as scheduling, progress tracking, and that frees the project manager up to focus on specific activities. So when we talk about AI in project management, we got to tackle that bit. So let's jump straight into a few examples when we're done with this, because we often get concerned with budget overruns, resource conflicts, enabling proactive risk management. How do you tackle that? Let me show you. In this new age of artificial intelligence, everything is super quick. So getting right in here, let's actually go to this page. Now, this is a page I have put up to help project managers get free documentation. And all you need to do is click for the repository of free documents. So a lot of the documents here, back in the day, the project manager would build these. It would take ages. It would take a long time. But now your project charter, your project management plan, all of these documents, you can actually develop these documents pretty rapidly. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just hover over this. I'm going to get all these documents. I'm going to get a list of all these documents, and this page is also accessible to you, but let's just do a Control-C for copy. Let me show you how to work smart as a project manager. So the way I prompt the AI tool is not the way a lot of people advise. People advise that you type out, I am No. That is old school. I don't do that. I use vocal prompts. That's the way forward. So watch this. I'm working as a project manager on a project, and I need you to help me build a ton of stuff. Here is a list of documents that I would most likely need for this huge software refresh project I'm handling for the city of Phoenix. I have 3,000 units that need to be refreshed with Microsoft Office, Microsoft 365, and Windows 11. And I need you to help me develop documentation for this. Use dummy data, use names in place of real names, which I will not give you, but I need all these documents to be intricately developed to the PMBOK standard. Now watch what I'm going to do next. I'm going to go into Canvas, and then I'm going to go a step further, and I'm going to paste the list of all those documents, and I'm going to say deliver all these in a canvas for ease of transfer into DocX or XLS or Google format. Hit the enter button, and this is the beginning of you freeing up your time, because I did two things here. One, I gave it a very robust definition of my project so it knows where I'm coming from. Secondly, I gave it all of the documents I needed it to develop. And without you having to do, let me do the business case, let me do the project management plan, no. Boom, everything. Get this stuff out of the way. As you can see, it's done a business case, right? And this is how you're going to keep progressing with all the other documents. And if it stops in its delivery, you just ask it. Keep going down the list. Keep going to the project charter, keep going to the project management plan, keep going to the resource management plan, and so on and so forth. So this is like an ongoing dialogue. And as you can see, I have a cascading list of documents that this tool is working on. While I'm speaking to you, it's done a project charter, a project management plan, a stakeholder analysis log. It's doing all of these. All I need to do is click on them, check on what it's done, right? So over here we have a project charter. Like when it's done with its whole thing, I can then click and open the project charter. There it is. Snap of a finger, one prompt. Boom. There's your project charter. There's the beginnings of your project management plan. There's your stakeholder analysis log with dummy data. You getting what I'm saying? Because I know a lot of people spend time doing things piecemeal. But no, you don't have to. Once you have a robust project charter or even a business case, all you need to do is feed it back to the beast. And it's going to do all of your heavy lifting. So take a look at how many documents really nicely and intricately done in the blink of an eye. There's a risk log, there's a communications plan, there's a budget summary. So gone are the days when you would have to spend tons and tons of time toiling away to get these. It's in a snap of a finger and you have your documentation. Okay. So when we talk about AI project management, AI can help you a whole lot. It can free you up, but it frees you up as a human to do the more important things, which are like the strategy, the interacting with the customer. That is how I see the world of artificial intelligence. Now let's talk about different types of AI projects, because a project is a project is a project. Even an AI project is a project, it's a project. But what exactly would an AI project consist of? When you really boil it down, when you think about what the PMI for the longest time has always preached, it's a project is the application of knowledge, skills, tools, and techniques, right? Knowledge, skills, tools, and techniques to project activities. So in the world of AI projects, an AI project, pretty much, you're going to apply knowledge, skills, tools, and techniques. You're going to apply them in a different way. You're going to have a bend towards data. You're going to have an awareness of hyper iterations. But it doesn't take away the fact that AI projects are the application of knowledge and skills, tools, and techniques to deliver a product, a service, a result, or maybe an even wider, bigger thing like a transformation. Let's take a look at those real quick. So what are the types of, when we say an AI product? Because an AI project delivers an AI product, an AI service, or an AI result, or an AI transformation. So let's take a look at that. AI product projects focus on developing tangible AI-driven products that can be deployed, distributed, or sold. These include AI-powered chatbots, virtual assistants for customer service recommendation, engines like those used by Netflix or Spotify, machine learning models for fraud detection or predictive maintenance, computer vision systems for quality inspection in manufacturing, and voice recognition apps or transcription tools. These deliverables take the form of software products, API platforms, or embedded systems. The development process emphasizes data collection, model training, deployment, and ongoing maintenance. Key metrics for evaluating these projects include accuracy, reliability, scalability, user adoption, and return on investment. And these are all important metrics that you got to report back to your stakeholders. These projects are often central to a company's product strategy and require robust engineering and data science capabilities. So for organizations that had an existing product that was an IT product, well, with the advent of AI, those products had better include AI or they're going to be left behind. AI just amps up everything that was once a software as a service type of product. Without AI embedded in those products, your customers are going to go elsewhere because your customers also want to harness the power of artificial intelligence in their decision making and their output from whatever product they once used before. So this is a very good business case for artificial intelligence. Everything that you did before can use the power of AI to get to the next level. So when we talk about AI projects, this first category are product projects, AI product projects. Let's go to the next type of project. The next type of AI project is AI service projects. It makes absolute sense, right? Because if you deliver a product, it is likely that you can deliver an AI-oriented service. So as you can see on the screen, AI service projects aim to deliver AI-enabled services or enhance existing services using AI technologies. Examples of this could be AI as a service via cloud platforms like Azure, AWS, or Google Cloud, deploying virtual project assistants that automate scheduling and reporting, integrating AI help desk services for IT or HR operations, providing predictive analysis services for clients and offering AI model management and tuning services as ongoing operations. The deliverables are typically ongoing and it can be quite profitable, if I might say. Consumable AI functionalities provided through subscriptions or service level agreements, SLAs, would also fall into this bucket. The focus is on service quality, uptime, responsiveness, and continual model improvement. Key metrics include service availability, performance, user satisfaction, cost per use, and these projects are essential for organizations looking to embed AI into their operational workflows and customer interaction. So you can see there's a lot of interrelationship with already existing technologies and this new world of AI. Putting AI into your service mix can make a whole lot of difference, both for the consumer and also for the producer, if you get what I mean in terms of that paper. Moving on to the next one, the third category, PMI says projects produce deliverables, and a deliverable is a product, service, or result. So this is where we talk about the results. AI results. Let's go back and talk about AI results real quick. AI result projects are undertaken primarily to achieve specific AI-generated outcomes or insights rather than to build a system or service. These include conducting data mining or predictive analysis to identify customer churn, running machine learning experiments to test hypotheses, using AI to generate new product designs or marketing content. You can see these are all result-oriented, performing AI-driven risk analyses to guide strategic decisions, and creating synthetic data sets for research or model improvement. The deliverables are typically reports, insights, model outputs, or data sets. The focus is on achieving knowledge, insight, or business decision support. And you as the project manager, again, your job is steering the ship, driving, right, along with those who are in it, but it is definitely not punching the numbers, doing the science. That is always for what we call the developers. So your job is really understanding what needs to be done and ensuring that that is being effectively managed. Timelines still come into play. The concept of hyper iterations comes into play here more than ever before. These projects are valuable for strategic planning, research, and innovation, providing actionable intelligence without necessarily producing a deployable product. So, the summary of what we've talked about so far: 3 categories. We can have a product, a service, or result: an AI product, an AI service, or an AI result. I've given examples: a product, an AI fraud detection platform; a service, an AI scheduling assistant; and a result, AI-driven churn analyses. The last category that we'll talk about is AI transformation projects. Let's give some quick definitions of these. So when we talk about AI transformation projects, we're talking about strategic initiatives that combine AI products, services, and results to reshape and remold and redirect how an organization operates, how they deliver value, or how they make decisions. These projects embed AI into business processes, business culture, and the systems to drive sustained change. Examples include deploying an AI-powered analytics platform, which would be a product, establishing an ongoing AI insights team, which would be a service, and generating actionable reports, an example of a result, to enable data-driven decision-making across the company. Another example is the AI-powered PMO Revolution project, which introduces the concept of AI tools for scheduling, reporting, and risk management. And what you realize, these all have humans at the center of the action, at the epicenter of whatever change, turmoil is going on. You will always find humans. And that's why I said in the very beginning, the skills that you have learned as a project manager, they're not going away. You are going to have to use them. You're going to have to use your good change management, leadership mindset, understanding that people will resist these things, and understanding that there is so much change in the world of AI that you might have done your data analysis, your data science, you might have validated everything, and the next day it doesn't work. The next day there are massive changes in associated systems or data. So you're always needing to pivot in these AI-driven projects. They're never a straight course. And just when you think you're coasting, there comes another pivot point. So it's very important that you get the mindset. Even with the AI revolution in the PMO, you got to understand that there will be pushback. AI-supported dashboards and AI-generated insights are also something we get excited about. Smart manufacturing is another exciting point in the world of AI because it involves implementing machine vision, inspection tools, offering predictive maintenance, monitoring, and producing insights on production efficiency and defect trends. And all of these projects, they all aim for long-term operation transformation, efficiency, and competitive advantage. So the work of the project manager and the team is cut out. We're going to talk about phases of a transformation. There's going to be a discovery and visioning. And this is identifying opportunities for AI enhancement and defining strategic vision for transformation. This is the very first step, and it has to be very solid. This is where opportunities for AI enhancement are identified. Then we have data and infrastructure setup, which involves building data pipelines and integration layers. We have AI capability development, where models and products are created or adapted, deployment and service enablement, which delivers continuous AI services, insight. Then we have insight generation and feedback loops, where AI outputs are used to refine processes. And then we have, lastly, change enablement. This is where we upskill the staff, adjust workflows to support the AI-driven operations. So it is a collection of, as you can see, many phases. And I just call this the D-DADIC, D-D-A-D-I-C. And extremely important is the first, which is very human-centered, discovery and visioning. And of course, the last, which is change enablement. Change enablement is always an uphill task when it comes to these tools and systems being taught and being the baton being passed on to the operations team. So think about it like a project being 10x. The kind of effort and brain power you might have on a typical project, where you got to 10x it on a lot of these AI projects. Not all of them, but in a lot of these projects. So to round up, we have products, services, results, and transformation. Which of these you feel comfortable with or drawn to as a project manager? For me, I know I've been in a few of these and I know which ones I gravitate towards. But for you, I'm curious. Drop me a comment below. Let me know which of these AI-driven projects you're feeling the pull towards. So in conclusion, my friends, we can see that the world of project management and the world of AI, they have come together to drive the future. The question is, Are you ready? There's a lot more to discuss. I have 8 modules that we need to go through. For that reason, there will be an entire course to go over this. But I'm hoping that what I've shared today will jumpstart your AI in project management journey. Remember, you can always get the book. If you want a book that will at least show you the very basics, you can always get this book to start your journey. And you can always get additional training on Udemy. I have a course that goes over the basics and the intermediate and shares a lot of thoughts and ideas that can help you. But thank you for joining me today. I hope you've enjoyed it. Smash that like button, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. I'll probably make an announcement when my full AI macro mindset is available, because the world of project management in AI is not about churning out automated stuff of, using project charter, automate. All that stuff is okay, but that's the lower level. You need to go to the next level as a coach. And I'll be showing you in my course, which will be coming out very soon, how you can step into that coaching role and have the macro mindset to keep driving the team, despite the frustration, despite all the pivot points, to excellence as an AI project manager. Thank you very much. I'll see you soon.